All right, so part two. Let's talk about the difference between doing harm and allowing harm, or killing versus letting someone die. Now, is there a moral difference? Most people think it is much worse to do harm or to kill than to merely allow harm or let someone die. When the physician administering a lethal injection, she is killing the patient. If we think back to our to the trolley problem from the beginning of the term, right? Many of you resisted being the one to push a large individual off a bridge in order to stop a runaway trolley, because you recognize that even though you'd be saving the lives of many, you would also be the one responsible for killing that individual. On the other hand, when the physician withdraws treatment, she is merely letting the patient die, right? Letting the disease run its course. And the former is much worse morally than the latter, right? Killing is much worse, literally, morally, than letting someone die. So why would we think this? Right? This is what James Rachels is contending with. In passive euthanasia, the disease is the cause of the death of the patient. It's merely letting nature run its course. But in active euthanasia, the physician causes the death. He or she is directly responsible for the death of the human being. But there are cases which seem to clearly demonstrate that doing harm is much, much worse morally than just allowing harm to happen. For instance, we have the story of the crowded cliff. You are standing at the edge of a cliff with a crowd of people. The crowd surges from behind you, and someone next to you begins to slip and begins to fall over the edge. At the very last second, you shove someone else off the edge in order to make room for that slipping person, thus saving their life and killing that other person. Now, is shoving someone off of the cliff here in this instance to make room for someone else who's about to fall morally permissible? I think most of us would agree that clearly it is wrong to kill that one stranger, even if it saves the other person's life. This may be an indication that our duty to not do harm to others is much stronger than our duty to not allow harm to others. Right? So maybe this is what we need. In this case, it helps us see that, not doing harms sometimes is a much stronger than our duty to not allow harm to others.